were out the night before? Because you do have flu-like symptoms with a bad hangover. They are very similar to this flu. This is legitimate, I think, flu-like symptoms. My man ate 8 hamburgers, fried eggs on them.
Yeah, that's every day in the life of Nick Wright. Cheating every day.
I mean, honestly.
See, you got to stop diet shaming me, man.
Time for your AT&T wake-up call. So LeBron James will miss at least another 3 games with his groin injury. Lakers said they plan to reevaluate him on Wednesday. Nick, what was your reaction to this?
My reaction to this was, as much as it pains me to say it, my man Chris Carter and the injuries. The only person on sports television that the moment this happened, even after when LeBron said dodged a bullet when it seemed like wasn't a big deal, Chris didn't believe it.
Nope.
I said I was hoping 3 to 5 games, maybe 5 to 8. It's now going to be at least 11 games missed minimum. I would think he'll be back after these 3 games, especially given who they have coming up. But you saw that this was a significant injury, and I didn't think it was.
And the number 11 is significant because there's another superstar who had a growing injury, Steph Curry. He missed 11 games. And you got to listen to the athlete. Initially, LeBron said, I heard it pop. That means you know there's a significant strain there. Also, they were headed to Sacramento. They sent them back to Los Angeles. Like, I was reading the tea leaves. That means he got significant damage in there. And even LeBron James, I knew that this injury was going to take a significant time to recover. And this is all. We talk about Brady. These are all the things that are signs of times when you start to get lingering injuries to a guy who's avoided all injuries like no other superstar we've ever seen.
This is now, amazingly, if he misses the 11 games, the single most significant injury of his career.
All right, Colts and Chiefs facing off in the AFC divisional round. Andrew Luck going up against the presumptive MVP and Patrick Mahomes. Chris Carter, what do you think the key is in this matchup?
The key is ball control. I know Frank Wright said, oh, no, we're not trying to conserve time. We're trying to score. Yeah. But I believe that Indy and their ability to be versatile offensively with Andrew Luck this season, 39 touchdown passes. Marlon Mack, especially in the last 4 games, averaging 100 yards in that offensive line. This is a team that's dangerous to the Chiefs because they can keep the ball away from Patty Mahomes, and that's the only defense in the NFL that will work.
To me, the key is how healthy are the Colts actually. Mike Mitchell, one of their safeties, out. Clayton Geathers and Malik Hooker, their other 2 safeties, didn't practice yesterday and most of the week. 3 of their 4 starting defensive linemen didn't practice yesterday. I want to know how healthy the Colts are because I know the Chiefs are the healthiest they've been all year. If you don't have your starting safeties against this pass attack, no matter how much you control the ball, you're going to be in real
Chiefs
trouble.
Bad news, though, they're not going to have Eric Berry.
You're certain of that?
Well,
it doesn't look good, but I don't know if he's been ruled
after
out.
a bye week.
He's
missed 3/4 of the season. Did he practice yesterday?
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll listen to me.
Okay.
Moving on to
I just
Antonio
said
Brown.
you know about injuries.
Antonio Brown's situation with the Steelers has seemingly gone from bad to worse. That is, if you consider your boss basically giving up on you as worse. The team's owner and president, Art Rooney II, said it is hard to envision the Browns, Antonio Brown, being on the Steelers team next season. So, Nick, you surprised that this has all come down to this?
No, not at all. Not after what happened at the end of the season. If you'd asked me after week 16, would I be surprised if Antonio Brown was not a Steeler the next year? I would have said I'd be shocked. There was no chance. But when you no show, no call in the most important week of your season, I said the next day, I don't know what choice they have other than to move on from Antonio Brown, no matter how talented he is. They can cap-wise, they have the same hit whether he's on the team or off the team, so it's significant in that you don't get any cap relief for moving on from him in the 2019 season, but it's not such that you have a worse cap hit for moving on from him. And I don't know how you could ask Mike Tomlin to face that team again with Antonio Brown, who figuratively spit in his face in the final weeks of the final days of the season. So I think it's a shame. I think Antonio's going to have to, should do, I don't know if he will, some soul searching about what he wants to do and what the type of player he wants to be known as, because we all know how brilliant he is on the field. It's self-inflicted by him to force his way out of one of the greatest franchises in all of sports. But no, I'm not shocked it came to this, not after what happened in week 17.
Jenna, I'm shocked because they've given him the type of support they've given him everything that you would want, that he could grow into some type of maturity and be a leader, be a guy who's been dependable. But there have been a number of warning signs throughout the years. And I'm just going to say, as a former player and as someone who knows a lot of players in the league and a lot of coaches, I know a lot more information than I put on TV, because a lot of times it doesn't help, because a lot of the information that I have, you try to see if it's going to play out publicly. Like Ryan Clark, he made some comments that people knew about, but he finally commented about them because there was a similar behavior. But there's kind of been this kind of agreement between guys who have played the game. It's kind of like the sausage making factory. Everybody wants to eat sausage, but you don't want to see how it's made. And when you're inside these locker rooms, you know things about people. So I'm surprised that it came to this, because they have supported him at every step of his career. Yes, and they've given him every opportunity to continue to grow. And I'm also surprised when the Rooney family comes out and you ask them a question about one of their star players, ask them, do you see them here in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform? And they say, no. Like, that was shocking to me, because that's not how they do business. Them, the New York Football Giants, some of the classiest organizations for the longest time, have always done things a certain way. So in that, I am surprised.
What are the Steelers' options now, and what are Brown's options? I know they didn't say get cap it. Well, the same if he was there or not, but now what can they do?
I mean, well, Brown to me has no options. He won't, since he left the building during the Week 17 game, he has not spoken with, he has not answered the phone calls of his head coach or the team owner. So he's made his choice. His choice is, I want to be somewhere else, and it looks like
they have to trade him.
They have to trade him in order for that to happen. One thing that Art Rooney II said yesterday very clearly is, we're not cutting him.
Yeah.
And of course they're not cutting him, because what are the Steelers' options? They can't trade him until March 1st, first day of the league year. They will have to trade him by March 5th. They don't have to, but if not, they're going to pay him a $2.5 million roster bonus. They don't want to do that. So sometime in the first week of March, I would imagine a team's going to give up a first-round pick and something for Antonio Brown. He's that talented, and his off-the-field issues aren't ones that are criminal to where you might turn off your fan base by acquiring him. Whoever trades for Antonio Brown, the fans are going to be excited. The coach is going to talk about, we just got the best receiver in football, and their football team will be better. It won't be more reliable, but their football team will be better, and they will have a lot of suitors for him.
All right, let's move on to the Patriots now. They'll kick off their postseason against Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. They know the Chargers finished the regular season with a better record, a better defense, some would say a better offense, but the Pats are trying to reach the Super Bowl for the fourth time in 5 years with a quarterback who, despite slowing down, is far from done. All right, Nick, how do they do it? How are the Patriots going to beat the Chargers at home, at Gillette?
Well, I think that Chris's point yesterday that it's going to have to be a Sony Michel-centric offense rather than a Tom Brady-centric offense is a great one. I think that's accurate. I think that you can't drop Tom Brady back 35, 40 times against this pass rush when you know you don't have a bunch of receivers that are going to get open off the snap, that if they are going to get open,